Hey there guys, how are you? Welcome to a brand new Q&A Ask Anything. You know how this works. You leave any question down below and I answer it next week in an all new video. So let's jump into the questions. John, what do you think about the new Mad Max Fury Road trailer that was released today? Here's my first impressions on it, okay? First of all, I'm a huge Road Warrior Mad Max fan. I like the first 45 minutes of Beyond Thunderdome. After the Thunderdome event, I'm just like, I don't want to watch the rest of this movie. Two men enter, one man leaves. Except I leave after the first 45 minutes of the movie. So my first thoughts on this new trailer, well, this trailer, I want the post-apocalyptic wastelands to become a reality. That way I can drive around the wastelands looking for gasoline. Actually, you know what I would do? I would become Lord Humongous, okay? A large muscle man. I cover myself in baby oil, alright, with some weird leather straps going around my nipples. I put on a hockey mask, and the only thing I say is, "Leave the fuel, and I will spare your lives." I can't wait to say that. Anyway, this new trailer, for you guys who don't know, this is a sequel to the Road Warrior movies, the Mad Max trilogy. This is a direct sequel by the same director. I can't wait to check it out. Tom Hardy looks amazing in this movie. This movie's been in production hell for the last like 5 years. Overall, I like it. I like the tone. I like the color palettes. It's a digital movie, and it means that they filmed it with digital cameras. And I kind of am digging the look of it. Charlize Theron shaved her head in this movie. I also kind of like that a little bit. But overall, it's just badass vehicles that aren't very fuel efficient, even though they're in a post-apocalyptic wasteland setting where fuel is like the most precious resource and they have none of it left. But yet they're driving these monster trucks around. It's like, why aren't you driving Priuses? But then again, a Prius just doesn't translate to badass, does it? Could you imagine Tom Hardy in this movie driving a Prius? Okay, anyway, yeah, it looks incredible. I like the scene where the flares are shooting up. Also, I like the scene where they're like on these, it almost looks like they're on stilts and they're leaning in. All kinds of cool shit happening in this trailer. I can't wait to see the movie. It comes out in 2015. So overall, I give it 2 thumbs up. Hey, John Cena Flickster, can you do an impression of Nicolas Cage as Forrest Gump? Jenny, you have AIDS. There we go. Alright. Please, someone make a meme out of that. If anyone's watching, if you make a meme out of that, what I just did right there, I'll share it. Alright, on Twitter. Alright, so the next question is, if you had the choice to be tied to a radiator and only watch Human Centipede 1 and 2, Nymphomaniac Volume 1 and 2, Caligula, I Spit on Your Grave, and a Siberian film for a month straight, or watch Inception, Memento, Usual Suspects, X-Men for... Jesus, this is a long question. X-Men Days of Future Past, Sin City, and V for Vendetta with Lights, Camera, Jackson for a month straight, but you can attack him with your hands, but your hands will be tied down, your phone is gone, and you can't have any weapons on you. 13 thumbs up. And okay. Fuck. Man, that's a lot of dark, dirty films to watch for a month. I would be psychologically scarred after that. But then again, sitting there with that little mutant, I would be more emotionally scarred. And I would be arrested afterwards for murder. Because, you know, I can't handle that kind of... I couldn't... Like, I'm watching Inception, all I hear over there is, "Well, I don't know, I don't get it. What's happening? This movie's too much for my little brain. My head hurts. I give the movie a D-. I just didn't understand it. No!" Stay out of the darkness, John. Don't go there. Okay, I'd probably do the first thing you said. I'd probably watch Nymphomaniac over and over again. Alright, let's keep going here. Who would win in a fight, Avengers or the Justice League? That's a good question, but the Justice League, they have Superman. The man can almost do anything. And I know you could say that Marvel has Thor, but I just feel like Superman would win in a fight. That's just my opinion. Plus they have Batman, and I know what you're thinking, but they have Batman. Okay? And Batman can do anything. Even though he's just a man with a utility belt and a lot of money and special fighting skills, he can do anything. I'll go with Justice League. Plus Aquaman. I mean, if someone... he can make dolphins attack. Alright. I thought you had broken up with your girlfriend. Care to explain? I already did it. I already explained that. Hey, Johnny the Rock Flickster, since you have Netflix now, please watch Arrow and Sherlock. Also check out 24 Firefly, Lawless, and IP Man. I will do that. I probably will watch Arrow. That'll probably be the next show I watch. But here's the sad thing. I started to get addicted to Breaking Bad again. Okay, my new lady friend hasn't seen Breaking Bad. We watched the first episode. And then tonight, I'm like, I gotta watch the second one. And then the second one turns into the third one. I'm rewatching the entire series now. I'm like, you gotta stop, John. So, what is your favorite Disney film? I would say animated Disney film would probably be Aladdin. And then you'd have Peter Pan. And then you'd have Robin Hood. Also, I think Sword in the Stone is very underrated. As far as live action goes, I'd have to put some serious thought. Let me look at those. Let me look at my Disney films just for a second here. Would you respect me any less if I said The Three Musketeers starring Chris O'Donnell and Oliver Platt? It's not my favorite live action Disney. I don't know. I like the first Pirates of the Caribbean film. There's a ton of live action Disney films I like. There's one. Have you guys ever seen the Disney film Blank Check? It came out like 1993 or 4. I don't know why. I seen the movie in the theaters and I've always liked it. All right. Give these movies a letter grade. Her, I would definitely give. I'd probably give an A minus. 12 Years a Slave, probably an A. Very intense, emotionally draining film. Don't ever want to watch it again. It's like, do I want to be depressed? Let's put in 12 Years a Slave. Good movie. Goodfellas, I'd probably give. Yeah, I'd give it an A minus, and I'll be honest with you, Goodfellas isn't one of my favorite Scorsese movies. I actually prefer the movie Casino over Goodfellas. Terminator, probably an A minus, even though I prefer Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and I'd give that an A plus. Argo, I'd probably give a B, and I'm going to tell you why. The movie Argo, it's well directed, in my opinion, a little bit overrated. And is it the most intriguing movie? To me personally, no, because there's two sides of that Argo story. There's actually those 12 people who were hiding out in the Canadian embassy house, and there's also a whole bunch of other hostages sitting there for months on end with blindfolds over their face and AK-47s. These other group of people that we got to see in the Argo movie were just sitting around playing board games, complaining the entire time. But overall, I think it's a well-made movie. Just in my opinion, I think The Town's a much better film by Ben Affleck. I don't know. Does anyone agree with me on that? Let me know down below. All right. What do you think of Tarantino's new film, Hateful Eight? I'm just glad he's actually making it. I remember at one time the script got leaked and he got a little bit upset about it, but who cares? The same people who read that leaked script are still going to see your movie, man. That's how big of fans they are. So I hope he makes it. Can't wait to see it. I heard that it only takes place in 3 different locations, and there's only a handful of characters. I don't know. I heard it's not like this big grand thing, so it could be interesting. Kind of something like Reservoir Dogs, kind of a smaller film. All right. John Flickenfuck Dumbwatch, Cold in July and Review Sun. Okay, what's happening? All right. Hey John, it's Ellis. I'm kidding, of course. I wish I was in that movie. Laugh out loud. My name is Chris. I love your channel and how knowledgeable and passionate you are about films. Thank you, Chris. My question is, what is your favorite movie of all time? Favorite film of all time. Well, I once said Forrest Gump was my overall favorite movie. Why? Because it has so many elements that are just so enjoyable to watch. And the story, it's a story about a guy, and and it ties in events from historical things that actually happened with this fictional story. I like things like that. But I would probably say The Shawshank Redemption overall, in my opinion, is one of the best well-crafted movies of all time. There's the story elements, the relationship, the characters. You get immersed into that story, and you feel for every person that's in it. And plus Morgan Freeman, in my opinion, steals the entire movie. And with Morgan Freeman narration on top of any movie, it just makes it that much better. Andrew Dufresne never walked again that day because the sisters raped him. All right, he doesn't even say that. I wish I could say he fought the good fight, but sometimes in prison, something. Doesn't it go something like that? Okay, anyway. John, who's your favorite superhero? Batman. All right. I know he's technically not a superhero, but in my eyes, he's pretty damn super. John, can you believe that Joel Schumacher went from movies like The Lost Boys and Falling Down to Batman Forever and, well, Batman and Robin? The two atrocities against humankind? Yes. Let's talk about Joel Schumacher for a moment here. He also made a movie called 8mm. That's a very dark, brutal movie, and I believe he made that after the Batman and Robin movie. So maybe he was just in a really dark spot and he's like, you know what, we did too much cheesy bullshit with fluorescent light bulbs in my movie. Now we have to go something dark and brutal with Nicolas Cage about snuff porn and have a guy in there who wears a leather mask named Machine. Joel Schumacher. Okay, I don't even know, I forgot what we were talking about. Yes, I can believe it, because it was the mid-1990s and he got paid a shit ton of money to do it. Alright. But I do want to say this about Batman and Robin. Had we not got that shitty Batman movie, we never would have got a rebooted franchise into Batman Begins. Think about it. If Batman and Robin did good in the theater and made a lot of money, we would have got a third Joel Schumacher Batman movie. Okay? So, I'm glad the movie was as bad as it was. So we got good shit out of it. John, have you seen The Atrocity Against Mankind That Is Mac and Me? I have not seen it. John, if you could be part of either Normandy... If you could be part of D-Day, the Battle of Magagushi, Black Hawk Down, okay, and or Operation Red Wings, Lone Survivor, which one would you pick and why? Either way, I'm probably getting shot, aren't I? Black Hawk Down, I believe the majority of them died. Lone Survivor, the majority of them died. Or D-Day. At least I would have a chance at D-Day, storming the beach. I might have a chance. So I'd probably go D-Day. As scary as that would be, we'd have to go with it. Hey John, I never knew you had a girlfriend. I was wondering why she's never in your videos. Is she a movie buff as much as you are? She likes movies. Probably not as much as I do, because as much as I like movies, I don't think is normal or natural or healthy. Yeah, as far as videos go, I don't know. I'm weird. Like, I'm making this video right now at 3 o'clock in the morning. Normal people sleep at these hours, but this is the time I get energized and I'm all hopped up on, like, blue Hawaiian punch. Let me take a look at this, though. Blue liquids. They just feel like they quench your thirst better, don't they? Alright. Hey, John, what action director do you prefer between James Cameron, John McTiernan, John Woo, or Michael Bay? Keep up the good work. Thanks, man. I'll go with James Cameron all day long, because why? He knows how to make the most timeless looking movies of all time. Or think about it. The way James Cameron's movies look, they live on for decades. They don't look like stylized, bloated junk. Like, you take Michael Bay action movies. Sure, Michael Bay can direct an action movie, but overall, his movies give you headaches if you watch them too long. But James Cameron does these nice wide panoramic shots. He makes things look nice and pretty. I mean, you look at movies like The Abyss or T2 Judgment Day. T2 Judgment Day, by today's standards, still looks good. The way that he framed his shots, the way that he made things look. So I'll go with Cameron on that. The other directors do good jobs, but I think their style is a little too niche-y. Like John Woo, you always have like a dove flying through every scene. Alright. Hey, Johnny Hancock, if Ben Affleck would make a solo Batman movie, who do you think should be the villain? I would probably say the Riddler should be the villain. We haven't really got a good incarnation of the Riddler since, well, Batman Forever, and that wasn't a good incarnation, now was it? It was Jim Carrey wearing spandex fucking question marks. I would say the Riddler. Give a very good, intense movie, where Batman essentially has to become that great detective that he is. So, I would say the Riddler. Also, you know who else I want to see? I want to see a good version of Mr. Freeze. Let's redeem ourselves. Let's make a good version of Mr. Freeze. And I think that would be really cool to see in a movie. Alright. What are your thoughts on The Walking Dead Season 5 trailer? I want it to be good. I do want it to be good, but anymore, that Walking Dead franchise series, I've been let down. Sure, they have good episodes every once in a while, but essentially, talk about dragging shit out. I mean, it's just getting to the point where you could skip 4 episodes watch that episode, skip another 4 episodes, and then just watch that episode, and you really wouldn't miss too much. That's the honest truth. You know, the last episode, they walked down the train tracks the entire time, and then a lot of people cried and complained. I hope the new episode is good. I hope that they don't spend a lot of time at that location they're stuck at right now. Terminus, yeah. I hope they don't spend a lot of time there. I don't want them to be stuck in that location more than 1 episode. Please just leave it, okay? And get on the road and make some interesting shit happen. But I think the most interesting part of that trailer is the storyline going on with Beth. Like, where's she at right now? Where's she stuck at? So that looks kind of cool. Are you and Stuckman still talking? Do another Google Hangout? God damn it. I might do one sometime midweek. I'm going to give away those LED lights. And also, I'm actually meeting up with Stuckman in LA. If you guys didn't already know, I'll tell you now. I'm going to my first ever press junket, being sent out to LA, which is really cool. I'm just happy the opportunity came my way. Don't know how it happened, but I don't know. I got lucky. Anyway, I'm going out to LA for a press junket. It's for the new TV show on TNT called Legend, starring Sean Bean. You know who Sean Bean is, right? The guy from Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. Yeah, badass. So I get to interview him one-on-one. That'll be a little bit intense. So yeah, Stuckman's also going out there. He got the same opportunity. So I'm sure we're going to make a few videos together while we're out there. All right. Even though Batman doesn't kill, in The Dark Knight Rises, he kills Talia and her driver. Thoughts? I think it just came down to this. Did he technically kill them with the machine gun on the Batwing? Yeah, but he had to do it, man. The city was in crisis, and those fuckers deserve to die, you know? We'll just leave it there. It's either him or Gotham, and it was time that he killed. He had to do it. Hey John, which superhero official soundtrack do you prefer, the Avengers or Man of Steel? I thought the Avengers soundtrack wasn't all that memorable at all. I didn't think it was even that good. I mean, I can't even think of the score from the Avengers right now. I mean, I can think of the score, but it was like, who cares? It didn't really have that imposing feel to it. I definitely prefer the Man of Steel soundtrack. Terraforming, best song on the soundtrack, so just badass. Just that epic Hans Zimmer, yeah. And I'll tell you what I'm most excited about. When Batman vs. Superman comes out, by the way, just shot a video talking about the Comic-Con footage over on the Flickpick channel, check that out. I can't wait for that score from that movie. That's going to be the most epic Hans Zimmer score ever, or at least I hope it is. Okay. And since you like Christian Bale, I'd really like to hear your opinion on The Machinist and Equilibrium. Okay, we'll talk about The Machinist. Skinny Christian Bale went down to like 100 pounds for that movie. Yeah, I like The Machinist. I liked the ending to it. I liked the whole concept behind it. Definitely one of those movies that just makes you feel dark, cold, and damp inside. Equilibrium, which some might refer to as kind of the Matrix ripoff. Is it? Kind of, sort of, and that's coming from a fan of the movie. I like the movie. I like Christian Bale in the movie. He's a badass. The thing about Equilibrium is it was shot on such a low budget. They were trying to achieve more than they could really afford, and it really shows off. Like, they're all driving cars from like 1998, but they're just spray painted white. And you're like, okay. But I like Equilibrium. It's a nice little action flick. So you could cast Patrick Bateman in a remake of American Psycho. Who would it be? I don't know who could top Christian Bale. I truly don't know who could top that man. Could Bradley Cooper maybe do it? That's a possibility. I could maybe see Bradley Cooper doing a remake of American Psycho. Or Leonardo DiCaprio, maybe. But you guys want to know a quick flick fact. Leonardo DiCaprio was originally considered for the role of Patrick Bateman, but then Christian Bale got it. John, do you use surround sound system for watching your movies on Blu-ray? I have a Sony soundbar right now with a nice huge ass subwoofer, and it's sufficient. Do I want surround sound? Yes. I just haven't. I got to save up a little bit to get it. Yeah, but I just there's one I want. I believe it's an LG surround sound system. It's like $500. So that's the next. Actually, I want a bigger TV, to be honest with you. I want like a 70-inch plasma screen TV. I have a 50-inch right now, but a 70-inch would just suck me into that environment. I want to go there. Have you seen Need for Speed? I have not seen Need for Speed. I don't really want to see Need for Speed, But now that you reminded me about the movie, I just might Redbox it for like, I haven't heard anything good about the movie. Like, I like Aaron Paul, bitch, but it's kind of like a junk-ass movie. I call them junk-ass movies. I might just Redbox it one night when I'm feeling a little bit low and I need to watch something junky to remind me of what good movies are. So there's a possibility. Happy Batman Day. How are you going to spend the most special day of the year? The Happy Batman Day was a few days ago, but I watched something Batman related. Did I? No, I didn't. I wanted to. I almost did, but I didn't. Damn it. Hey John, what are your thoughts on Tim Burton's Batman movies? And keep the vids coming, brah. Thanks, man. I like the Tim Burton Batman movies. I mean, for what they were definitely, you take the 1989 Batman movie directed by Tim Burton, starring Michael Keaton, and it's just like, no one wanted to cast Michael Keaton. All the fans thought it was shit, and then people seen the movie and loved it. So that's essentially maybe what's going to happen with Ben Affleck. But at the time, in the late 80s, Tim Burton was the right man for the job. I mean, it was definitely probably the best superhero movie we ever had up until then. And it was probably one of the best comic book movies we had, you could say, for at least, quite possibly, until the 2000s. I mean, I can't think of another movie. I mean, maybe until Spider-Man 2, that could have been considered the best comic book movie. It certainly wasn't fucking Steel starring Shaquille O'Neal, I'll tell you that. And Batman Returns, I always liked it. They definitely went darker with the movie. And Batman Returns, in my opinion, at times I actually prefer the movie over the original 89 Batman. And I think the Penguin, Danny DeVito's interpretation of the Penguin, I think more superior than Nicolas Cage's, what the fuck did I say? Jack Nicholson's Joker. I've never liked Jack Nicholson's Joker. I never liked it. So I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I think Danny DeVito's villainous role as the Penguin was better. What do you think about Steven Seagal movies? I think they're all pretty junky. I think Steven Seagal is a fucking awful person and an awful actor. Have you ever seen interviews with this guy? He's the most pretentious fucking person I've ever seen in my life. He takes himself so seriously. Plus that ponytail, you just want to chop it off and make him choke on it. But Steven Seagal, yeah, I've never really liked his movies. I mean, even his best movie ever, what is it, Siege Under Fire or something like that? Or what is it? What the fuck is that? Siege Under Fire? Is that it? It's gotta be. Siege Under Fire. Okay, that's the wrong movie. What am I thinking about? Fire Down Below? Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. No, Fire... What the fuck is that movie? Steven Seagal movie. Steven Seagal movies. You guys are... I'm not editing this. I don't... Under Siege. There we go. I kind of had it both times, just wrong order. Okay. Under Siege. That's probably his best movie he's ever made, and that's a mediocre movie. Alright, John, what are your thoughts on Ultron's look in Avengers 2? I think it looks good. Here's my thing with the new Avengers movie, and I'm hoping... Okay, essentially Ultron is this self-aware computer, and in the movie he probably creates more... I don't know, what are they? Clones? Cyborgs? Robots. He's going to create hundreds and thousands of these little robots that are going to fight the Avengers in the climax of the movie. Or at least that's what I'm getting from this. And that's kind of like what we got in the first movie, the Avengers movie. Essentially, you just had all these stupid aliens coming out of the sky. They were just nameless, random aliens getting beat up, you know. And I'm hoping that's not the climax of the new Avengers movie. But Ultron himself, I'm digging it, and I hope the movie's good. I like the Avengers, and I hope the Avengers 2 is even better of a movie. But the thing I'm most looking forward to when it comes to the Avengers 2 is the Hulkbuster versus Hulk fight scene. Now, we've got some concept images of that released before, but I'm just hoping that's one of the coolest comic book fight scenes we've ever seen. But speaking of fight scenes, I even hope the Batman versus Superman fight scene's better. So anyway, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up. I think this was a pretty long Q&A. A lot of people were complaining I wasn't doing long Q&As anymore. My brain's leaking out of my ear. I think we did a long Q&A. I don't know. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. As usual, ask anything and everything down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.